Hi Pisces, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Pisces, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings, so not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have the High Priestess, one of my absolute all-time favorite cards, to be honest with you. And the reason being is because, oh gosh, I haven't got enough time, but you know, she's just awesome. So this week, something hidden may be revealed to you. Now that doesn't have to be bad, it doesn't even have to be shocking. This could be the moment where somebody reveals that they love you. This could be something where somebody reveals that they've brought you a gift. It doesn't always have to be life ending or, you know, in some sort of impending doom. Sometimes it can just be something truly wonderful or truly beautiful, and I really get the feeling that this week it is. Something is being shared with you that you didn't know before. Now, I will also say to you, because we're coming up to the run up to this, so as we get into the end of the week on the 19th, the very next day we're going to have that powerful full moon in your sign. Now, I invite you to ask yourself, what did you set into motion on the Pisces new moon, right? Did you set intentions around that time? I really hope that you did. For those of you that got my calendar, you know I was raving about it because it was such a beautiful, powerful full moon, right? And in a lot of ways, I get the sense or the feeling that, well, it's not even get the sense, like this is the bookend to that. So whatever your manifestations were, whatever your intentions were, you may very well now see the results, right? Because your full moon is putting a spotlight on you, your sun, your ascendant or your moon, right? So in some way, shape or form, you are being lit up, you are being illuminated, you are being shared with the world in a much more visible and a brighter sort of way, which is very, very exciting. And then you've got the card literally that rules the moon, right? Which I find really, really interesting. So there's a powerful lunar energy around this week for you. Anyway, obviously, like I said, the full moon is happening on the 20th. So, you know, it's not exactly this week, but obviously you're going to feel that build up the whole week. So I think this is really, really interesting. Your foundation card is the Two of Swords. Well, holy crap. The Two of Swords is a very intuitive card. The Two of Swords coupled with the High Priestess. For those of you that have already taken my tarot course, you will know this. For those of you that are on my tarot course, you're about to find out. But these two cards coupled together represents a very powerful psychic person, a very powerful psychic situation, or a very powerful psychic revelation. So something is being told to you, shared to you, and possibly on that intuitive level. Pay attention to your dreams this week. Pay attention to your feelings, your gut hunches, your psychic and intuitive awareness is going to be off the chain this week, right? So you listen to it and you listen to it good. If you are a continued subby, you know Raffi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share. And if you should so choose and this resonates, hit the subscribe button. For your actions and options this week, you have the Devil card, right? So this week, with so much psychic energy and power floating around, you are one of the natural empaths of the zodiac. So it's really, really important this week that you find ways to de-stress and to decompress. Now, the Devil card can also be about addictions or things that we hold on to. And I'm going to be really honest with you, Pisces. On a more personal note, this is about a secret of yours that is about to be revealed, right? So something is being shared, maybe not necessarily with your say-so, maybe, or certainly probably not because it's the Devil card, maybe not with your blessing. But what I can tell you is that once it's out there, it's not going to be such a bother. Like, it may actually be the thing that ends up bringing you more liberation and freedom than you'd ever hoped for. And we'll see you living your life on a much on a much more illumined sort of stage. I'm really intrigued by this. Now, the Devil card also will speak to your addictions, your vices, maybe even your kinks. Everybody's got them. So this week I would invite you to really be very conscious of what your vices and stuff are. Like if you're like me and there's sugar in the house, clearly. Right? But so this week, get a handle on yourself. Like you be really, really aware, because obviously feelings are more to the forefront. We're more emotionally charged, aware, plugged in, jacked in, stressed around the time of a full moon anyway. And this full moon is highlighting you in a very powerful way with some considerable square energy. Square energy in astrology represents uncomfortable energy. Now, what I need to tell you about squares is, because when people see that in a chart, it's like, oh no, that's awful. And it's like, okay, well, it's not the easiest energy, but it's really not that bad. The thing that comes up with a square in astrology, it makes you uncomfortable enough to say, fuck this, I'm not having this experience anymore, and it makes you active about doing something about it. Now, your sign is the sign of mutable water, so you're naturally more docile than most other signs. It's a part of your character. But this week, you can use that to your advantage. Get on the front foot, sidestep your personal challenges, issues, vices, whatever, and say, right, okay, I can go down that escapist route like most people typify Pisces to do. You see how I've only just mentioned it right at the end there? Very important, right? Find other ways to typify signs. Or the other way that you can go is, okay, I'm going to empower myself through what I know, understand, and believe to be true now, and go off in a completely different direction that is consciously led. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles underneath the High Priestess, that's hidden money. Right, so this could be anything from, I don't condone working outside of the law, but this can be anything from working cash in hand to right through to money that you're entitled to that you didn't even know existed. Maybe a parent comes forward and says, look, I've got this stash of savings. Do you want it or do you need it? Maybe your boss comes to you and says, look, we're giving you a bonus, but you can't say anything to anybody else. We just want to say thank you for your hard work. There's some boost to the finances or to the work or the earning potential this week. Maybe not massive, but it's, it's small to come, and it will be greatly appreciated, but it might be something that you have to stay stum about. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, I actually kind of like this, because I think this is you making moves behind the scenes that nobody gets to see yet. So this is very, very exciting. All right, really good stuff. And then for those of you that are retired or no longer working for any reason, in a lot of ways, this is going to see you getting your ducks in a row. Certainly for those of you that are now in the winter of your lives, you might really start to think about wills, division of assets, who gets what, all the rest of it. It's not sexy, it's actually a little bit morbid, and oh gosh, I remember when my nan and my granddad told us all that they'd written their will, we were all like ah! It was like, because it makes everything very real, but it stops any challenges or issues arising, should the inevitable happen. That's as much as I'll say on that. For your love and relations, you've got the Four of Swords. You've got this underneath the Devil card. For those of you that are seeing someone, especially like new relationships and stuff, this week you guys might decide to put the brakes on it. I will say as well, it might be, which is odd for Pisces, I have to say, it might be that this person tells you that they love you, and then you run for the hills and you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do with that. Tried and true method, avoid. So, maybe it's too soon for you, but it does look like something to do with a relationship or a potential relationship is being put on hold, and it's because of how you feel about something. I think you're a little bit freaked out, if I'm honest. Just me. For your come on brain, for those of you that are married, partnered, or in long-term relationships, slightly different. You guys could be embracing some of those kinks that I talked about earlier this week. It's definitely possible, but it looks like you are wanting things to be a bit more intense, and maybe your partner is kind of like, okay, I've got a lot on at the moment, maybe they're not there at the same time, but it looks like you will get there regardless. It's quite an interesting energy. For your money and materials, you've got the Magician card. This could be a great week for finances. This could be a phenomenal week for finances and or money. This week, I invite you, my dear Pisceans, to go after what it is that you want. Use that full moon energy to highlight yourself, right? If there's something that you want, go after it, especially like as we get into the latter end of the week, because then you'll start to feel that energy really build. Probably you'll feel this more on the 20th, so as we get into next week, and obviously I'll be here to talk about that at the time. But yeah, really, this could be a very powerful week. If you use that energy of the moon building up to full, you could really gather steam or pace with something. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, look out for your arms, your hands, your fingers, all of that kind of general area. Also, this week there could be a lot going through the brain, right? Now, your sign's prone to getting lost in here anyway because so much happens in there. It's such a rich, beautiful realm in the Piscean mind, but remember this here. This is where it all happens, right? So try to keep one foot in each world. And then finally, when it comes to your home and environment, who are you inviting round? All jokes aside, this could literally be that, right? There's something where maybe the home is changing, maybe you're inviting somebody over. Now, do need to talk about the fact that you've got the High Priestess and the Magician in the in a single reading, and what's between them is this Two of Pentacles. In one way, this is you balancing your professional life with your personal life, absolutely. In another way, this is literally balancing your spiritual life and your material life. And then finally, those two cards, when they come up together, can represent tuition in a spiritual practice and or path in some way, shape or form. So if you're thinking about tapping into some sort of, magical training, whether that's, I mean, I don't know if tarot and astrology really count as magical training, to be honest with you, just because they're so commonplace now. When I think of magic, I think of, paganism, witchcraft, Wicca, ceremonial magic, all of that kind of stuff. I'm more inclined to those things when I talk about that, but it would be a good week, no doubt, to delve into your spirituality for sure, or at least make some sort of formal declaration that you are going to try to really walk that path in earnest, more so than previously. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.